Hi ladies, I hope you're having a great Friday today. It's just a couple more days until we get to be in church. I know we're looking forward to being in church on Sunday, our first in-person service in a while, so we're looking forward to that. We're praying for that. Our verse today is Proverbs chapter 29 and verse 15. The rod and reproof give wisdom, but a child left to himself bringeth his mother to shame. And that first part of the verse gets taught on a lot. The rod and reproof give wisdom, and talking about correcting our children, which I do think is important, but I want to focus a little bit on the last part of that verse. But a child left to himself bringeth his mother to shame. We're not talking about here that you have to keep your children with you all the time. They can never be out of your sight, that they can never be alone. That's not the principle here, but we do need to be careful with the children, with your children. What are you teaching them? Are you leaving them to figure things out on their own? I'm so thankful that I had a mom and a dad who did not leave me to figure out life on my own. They taught me, life is hard. You're going to face things in life, and you need to be ready to face life. You need to be ready to take responsibility for your actions and to learn things. And I'm so glad that I had a mom who taught me physical things like cooking and cleaning and caring for a home, but also emotional things. How to be careful with my emotions and to keep that in check when I needed to. It was okay to cry, but sometimes it's not the right moment to cry. And she taught me how to care for my emotions and how to work on things and how to take responsibility in my life. I have kind of a story today that might kind of illustrate this a little bit. It was many years ago. I think I was probably about 16. This is thinking back a long time ago. So it's kind of hard to remember, but I think it was about 16. I was in high school, and it was during the school year, and my aunt and uncle lived a couple of hours away. My aunt needed to fly back to see, I think it was her grandmother who was having some health problems, and she was going to be gone for about a week. My uncle worked in construction, so he was gone working all day. And they had 5 kids at home, my 5 cousins, and they were homeschooled except for the littlest one who was not school age yet. And they asked if I could come and stay there for the week and help out around the house. And my parents agreed, and I was fine with that. I talked to my teachers, and I got my work, all my classwork to take with me. And I went and up there, staying at their house for a week. Every morning, my uncle got up really early in the mornings, and he was gone 5:30 in the morning. But I would get up. I would make sure that all 5 of the kids got up. They had their breakfast. Those that were homeschooling would start their video lessons. I would keep an eye on them. I'd keep the little one with me, taking care of him throughout the day, make sure they all had lunch, make sure they did their chores. I made them lunch. I did their made dinner, made sure it was ready for when my uncle got home from work. And then after he put the kids to bed in the evenings, I would sit in the living room or at the kitchen table, and I would do my schoolwork. And so I was taking care of the kids, helping to take care of the house and cleaning and cooking, and also taking care of my own work. And I was only 16. And that might seem like, oh my goodness, that's a lot of responsibility for a 16-year-old. But at that time, I was ready for that. It wasn't a constant thing that was going to last, for the rest of my life. It was 1 week. I was able to handle that, but I was able to do all of that because of my mom. I knew how to cook for a family. I knew how to, take care of the kids and make sure they got their stuff done. I knew how to clean. I could do all of that because of what my mom and dad had taught me, the responsibility that they had instilled in me. They did not leave me to figure things out on my own. We need to be very careful with the children in our lives. Even today, I don't personally have children of my own yet, but I'm with kids all the time. I teach at our church, at our school, and I remember this last year, one of the little guys in my class is in 4th grade. He was having a rough day, and I called him out of the classroom and I talked to him about taking responsibility for his work. He just did not want to. He's like, he was afraid that if he admitted he hadn't finished his work, that he was going to get in a lot of trouble. And I took that opportunity to teach him it's better to be responsible and admit that he hadn't finished it than try to hide it and worry about it. And so that's something we're still working on, but it was something that he did start to learn throughout the year. I remember just a couple days later, he just kind of put his head down. No, teacher, I'm sorry, I didn't finish it. But as a teacher moment, I was very excited about the fact that he took responsibility for not getting his work done. And we need to make sure that the children that we have influence over, we don't let them just try to figure it out on their own. Life is hard, it's difficult, and there's a lot of lessons that they need to learn. We need to be there to help them along the way. Today, I would like for you to comment done if you have read chapter 29, and then maybe there's something that somebody has taught you over the years that you're thankful for, maybe a life lesson that you have learned. You can post that in the comments. And then today I'd like to pray for our kids. They are facing a lot right now. I know a lot of young people just graduated from high school. I know here in California, there are several colleges that will not be opening in the fall. They've said that they'll be doing online classes only. And I know for those looking forward to going to college and, kind of getting out on their own a little bit, that's a little disappointing. And I know that there's a lot of decisions being made right now about their future. So let's just pray for our young people, pray for our kids, and let's make sure that we are influencing the young people in our lives the right way. In physical things, emotional things, spiritual things, let's make sure that we have a godly influence. Thank you, ladies, and we will see you tomorrow.